This is the Santa Fe River at Highway 441. The sensitivity, you'll see the gauge there. In this database, I have 2,700 water permits. Yours should be in here. If you will send me a list of your permit number, I can share with you the data that goes along with that permit number. So let's look at some examples. So that database prints out this form, and I want to walk through the form with you so that when I send yours to you, and please just let me know the permit numbers, and it will be really, really quick. We're all friends here, but I've marked out the information that is identifying. So we have the basic, whose permit is it? The acres. The acres really matter because that's how we figure out what matters to you, the inches per acre per year. So the base condition water use came from the FSED modeled data of estimated water usage from 2014 to 2018. Suwannee River Water Management District sent me this number. Also from Water Management, based on the FSED, is the impact to the gauge in CFS. So you remember there's two gauges. Most every permit is applicable to both gauges. Obviously, the one that needs the biggest offset based on the permit is the one that they want to go with. So this permit right now we're seeing it from the US Highway 441 gauge on the Santa Fe River. Water Management gave me the impact and the base condition water use. So what we have here that I pulled from the permit data online, this permit was issued for 3.2 million gallons a day. Based on 1,321 acres, that's 33 inches per acre per year. That's nice. We can grow something with that, right? With this draft rule, this deletes. Nobody cares what the permit amount is. It doesn't matter. The base condition water use is what matters, and that is less than a half. That's 500,000 gallons per day, which comes out to 4.68 inches per acre per year. An 86% decrease from what the permit is that you think you can use right now to what they're going to say you have been using from 14 to 18 and what we're going to base the offsets on going forward. The Santa Fe River gauge offset is 1.96%. So when we take these, delete 1.96%, you drop to 0.45 million gallons and 4.59 inches. This is the math. Water use divided by total impact. Do you remember this from the presentation? And then multiplied by the net flow deficit. This was the example of Farmer 1. This is true to this permit. The proportionate share of recovery right here, that's the calculation, 0.0006 is what's required to be offset. This is a permit in Hamilton County. It is within the North Florida Regional Water Supply Partnership. Yes, offset is required, but filed plan is not required because the impact to the gauge, CFS, includes digits within 4 decimal places. So we have the impact to the gauge. We're looking at the Itch-Tutney River gauge. Yes, 250 acres in Hamilton County absolutely impact Itch-Tutney River. Based on the gauge, we take the impact, which is 31.5% at Itch-Tutney, and we multiply that to get the proportionate share of recovery. Now, this applies to the permits issued prior to 2019. So this is 0.00008, which doesn't seem terrible, but my guy just went from 23 inches per acre per year to 7.5. This permit is based on 175 acres. And I did notice when I pulled the actual contract and also the description from the website, there is often a discrepancy between how many project acres and how many irrigated acres. So if you notice that your acreage is wrong, that absolutely affects the calculations, and I want to get that right for you. To show you how we did this, literally on your permit, 0.3045 million gallons a day times 365 days a year times 1,000,000. We get our multiplication and then divide it by 27,154 gallons, which is how much water it takes to put 1 inch of water across 1 acre of land. So if you want to double check me on that, it's really important that we know exactly what we're looking at. I wanted to show my math there. Base condition water use is what's in the draft rule for the average 14 to 18. 0.09. This 0.09, use these same calculations, brings the inches per acre per year that allegedly this farm used from 2014 to 2018, and then we offset it by 31.5% based on Itch-Tutney River. This is what's allowable if the rule goes into effect as it currently sits. So this is what's allowable. Then, yep, he still has to offset. Here's another few. We'll just take snapshots so you can get a good overview. This is a Suwannee County 300-acre farm. Its impact to the gauge is greater than 0.01, so the full rule applies. And there are different timelines, whether it's 10 or 20 years to offset, and how long until the plan is required. But based on this impact number, that's what the rule levels are based on. Proportionate share of recovery. Very, very smart man that I have grown to respect a tremendous amount. His expectation is that there will be a huge regional project that is a offset project for North Central Florida, and everybody will be required to pay. And the number to pay on is this proportionate share of recovery. That's what he says. If life wasn't hard enough already, this Gilchrist County farm, based on where they are, off the bat, they're 93% difference from their permit to their base condition water use. And then there's their Itch-Tutney offset. This is a small tract in Suwannee County, potentially nursery, greenhouses, blueberries, something that's pretty water intensive because they started out with a big amount for such a small piece of property. But nobody can stand losing 95% of your permitted water use. Unbelievable.